Another beautiful day here. All right, let's kick back in. I love actually having a Facebook group, and a lot of good questions kick up in my Facebook group. And this week's question is from my Facebook group. And I spoke at least the last episode, if not the last two episodes, you know, around this term uncertainty, or things that I should say uncertainty has been baked into the last couple of posts. And what's going on is when people don't know something, there is uncertainty. If there's fear or doubt, there's uncertainty. And it's interesting because to me, I always say we want to decrease fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Fear and doubt bring uncertainty. Uncertainty brings fear and doubt. Doubt brings fear, doubt brings uncertainty. There's this interweaving, intertwined reaction between all these. So I like to stick to this word uncertainty, because uncertainty doesn't always mean fear, but it could. But I believe it encapsulates everything that I'm going to share with you today. And regarding and where this uncertainty fits is if people coming into our ecosystem, our business ecosystem, people coming in from the day they see their website and every step of the way along their life cycle with your business, their journey with your business, if there are spots of uncertainty, we will increase the likelihood of them not doing business with us. If they're in their journey, we will increase the likelihood of them dropping off. We will increase the likelihood of them canceling. We will increase the likelihood of no-shows. If they're thinking about doing business with us and they start to decrease this uncertainty and they get on the phone with us, and because we haven't trained the front desk, because we don't have the processes in place, because we don't have the systems in place pre-arrival, that pre-arrival phase that you don't even know is happening is creating more uncertainty, which gets them not to schedule, which gets them to no-show, which gets them to cancel. Uncertainty is the biggest pain point in your business from the business side. Uncertainty is the biggest deal killer, is the biggest growth killer, is the biggest scalability issue in your business. Uncertainty, right? You guys have heard me talk about a leaky bucket, drop-offs, no-shows, cancels. They all flow back uphill to one thing: uncertainty. Why do I know all this? I've done the work, my friends. I used to call all the drop-offs, no-shows, and cancels myself personally. I didn't talk to all of them, but I spoke to a lot of them. Every reason. So what I used to do is I tracked all these calls. I put a name, right, whatever, a date, and then I tracked the reason for dropping off, no-showing, or canceling. And then after a while, after they started to group up, I looked for trends. And what I realized is there was one trend amongst all of them. All of them, no matter what the reason was related back to they were uncertain about something. Finances, treatment, the plan, their journey, their progress. Any of those things cause uncertainty, which leads someone to say, I don't think this is working for me. I don't think they're the right fit for me. I don't think this is worth it. I don't think I need to go back, right? Let's do all these things. That's why these things occur. It all comes back to uncertainty. So that's the way I want you to think about this. And so what are you doing in your current patient's life cycle as you're creating the systems to create the experience you want them to have within their life cycle? What are you doing to decrease uncertainty? And if that was the only question you asked at every step of the way, I'd say you're probably 70% of the way there, right? And people go, where's uncertainty? And I go, everywhere you think it is, and then everywhere your patients ask you a question. I love how patients will call back, or people show up. I don't understand this piece of paperwork. And yet we allow them to come back every time and say, I don't know. I don't understand this piece of paperwork. I move that upstream. Before you ever arrive, you know you'll have 5 pieces of paperwork, 3 pieces of paperwork. Let me tell you what those 3 pieces of paperwork will be about. I've just decreased the uncertainty around the paperwork you're going to receive when you arrive. Why? Because I heard that feedback. I heard that feedback when I was sitting in my waiting area for hours at a time, evaluating the process at the front desk, evaluating all these processes and hearing how they actually took place in interactions with our patients. Uncertainty is the biggest value killer in your practice today? And by value, I mean your patients quitting on you. And patients quitting on you sounds like it's on them. They're leaving you and looking for a solution elsewhere because of the uncertainty they have. And this is this thing again, you've created uncertainty whether you know it or not. So if you're not thinking about it, there is a lot of uncertainty. When I went back and looked at my business and started implementing all this, I mean, I just gave you an example. We tell you on the first phone call how many pieces of paperwork you will have when you arrive in the door. Why? Because I found people hate, everybody says it stemmed from this. You're told every day, and you would believe that people hate paperwork in healthcare. I started asking people, what do you hate about it? Paperwork in healthcare. There were two things it came down to. I don't like having to repeat myself on paperwork, writing the same thing, right? And I don't like having to, what was it? Oh, I don't like having to repeat myself, right? And I don't like having to have a pile of paperwork, right, without knowing in advance. That's literally what they said. So guess what we did? We auto-populated all the stuff on the intake sheet that we could. And then we made sure they knew how many pieces of paperwork. It was the uncertainty around the paperwork. So we fixed that upstream. It's everywhere. Okay. So here's the deal. I want to talk about this. So in the Facebook group, right, I posted this based on a video I did a week or two ago. Conversation kicked up and someone said, in the presence of uncertainty, we look for social proofs to help guide our decision. That's not incorrect. That is correct. Yet it's way too narrowed down and way too narrow to solve a lot of the uncertainty problems, right? You don't need social proof about paperwork, right? Now, mind you, social proof is helpful. Saying we've helped people just like you, right? Reviews online, that was a great experience. But then you have to deliver that experience, right? So again, social proof is a step, is a tool I use during the pre-arrival process to get people to decrease uncertainty. But it's not the only thing. When I read this statement straight out, and we had a little conversation and just said, I'll speak about this next week. It's, again, uncertainty is a very high level issue that can go in a lot of different directions and requires a broad conversation. As I've just shared with you, paperwork, not repeating yourself, right? Blah, blah, blah. And again, we can have uncertainty around financial. Social proof? No, I just need to know for me, right? Social proof works when selling the expert only in the presence of knowing then that person is the right fit for me, right? So again, it's uncertainty is somewhat complex, or let's call it broad, not complex. So the solutions are broad, right? Now, mind you, the further we move this work upstream, the greater the impact and the greater the solution. There are multiple ways to attack uncertainty, as I've already said, because we have to look at uncertainty is everywhere. And your website and the pre-arrival phase, social proofs are awesome for getting people to buy in that you're the experts and this is the right fit for you. But then you got to deliver, because then even, right, you show up on a eval day. Did I make the right choice? Your eval's over. You need to schedule out. Did I make the right choice? And if you leave any uncertainty on the board at any one time, then no show, drop off, cancels. And those don't take social proof. Those take you doing the work to make sure people understand how they fit, right? And what they're doing and why they're doing it. And if they get a bill from you, what it's about, all that stuff. So at a higher level, social proof is very useful and you need to leverage it. I literally have a step in my intake process, my first in my 5-step phone sales process that is about social proof. Yet when it comes to the day-to-day and once they arrive, it's got to be about all them. Again, the statement is correct. I wanted it to be in context of what I was talking about with uncertainty, because there's no way to kill uncertainty with one sweeping shot, because that's why drop-offs occur. That's why no-shows occur. And not always, but frequently, that's why cancels occur. Uncertainty leads to you being less of a priority, right? And we could talk for an hour on this. And if there's uncertainty and I prioritize you less, then I'm more prone to cancel. See how these problems, it's never just about fixing cancels. It's about going upstream and seeing why are people canceling. Oh, they don't see value. I'm like, they were never told, right, what they would receive. They never had an opportunity to build a value equation, right, which we do pre-arrival phase. So uncertainty is a deal killer. Uncertainty is a business killer. Uncertainty is a value killer. Uncertainty is a business killer. Uncertainty is a complete a plan of care progress killer for your patients, right? And we have to have patient success before we can have business success. So get a grasp on this uncertainty. And like I said, map out your patient life cycle and look at all the steps of the way of where uncertainty can occur. And it's not just financial. It's not just cost. It's not just, is this the right choice for me? Right? There's high level uncertainty, and then there's uncertainty at every step. Why am I coming back? Why should I go back? I'm uncertain why I should go back. We do the same thing we do the same things over and over every day. Hey, Jerry, let me tell you why you should come back next week. I baked this into the patient engagement rules of engagement. These are the systems, right, that prevent the drop-offs, the cancels, the no-shows. And if you forced me to say, really, just give me one thing, one word, Jerry, what are we doing during all this? I would say 2 words: decreasing uncertainty. All day, you move through your day. Should I do this? Should I do that? Why should I do this? Why shouldn't I do that? Social proof has a place, higher level, and then it's got to come down to me. All right. So it's not just about what we do with people when they're in the marketing phase, in the sales phase, and the retention phase. Uncertainty needs to be managed in all those phases, and social proof is a step in that. All right. Any questions, comments? Just send them down below. I will respond. This is a great conversation because this is such a huge component to patient and business success. And by the way, I'll throw this in your ear and then I'll stop. Uncertainty on the side of your employees will kill your business too. So not training them properly, not onboarding them properly, telling them that all they have to worry about is scheduling people. But then we yell at them for people who didn't arrive and cancel. So uncertainty works both sides of the fence. I'm more worried about it from the other side because I'm managing, right? I'm managing the training, onboarding, and all that. So I'm like, that's dialed in. So let's just make sure we have the systems in place. So my staff gets it. They're not uncertain about what they have to do. And actually that will flow downstream to make sure that the clients don't have uncertainty. There you go, my friends. Cheers. Have a great day.